Welcome to another edition of Yacht Life Chronicles, where we are better together than separate. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a special guest on the show today. He goes by the name of Mac Jovi, R&B artist, Saginaw R&B artist, Saginaw producer. You know, a lot of artists has came up through his studio. He has worked with a lot of artists. We just had a tragedy with a Saginaw artist, Topside Take Money, that that he been working and doing a lot of work in the studio with. You know, this is how I met Joe. I met Jovi, you know, through working with Top Mill. And I brought him on the show today because he wanted to know why people not supporting R&B no more. You know, you know. So we gonna try to get people back, man, supporting his R&B, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, because like I say, sometimes you can get caught up in some of this drill music. You get caught up in some of this music that's so hype. You know, we neglect the romance. We neglect the candlelight dinners. You know, with your significant other. You know, and that's what we trying to bring back today. You know, with Mac Joe. Man, so how you doing?
Doing good, bro. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Man, and I thank you, man.
Sure.
Definitely thank you for this interview. And so we just want to go to the beginning, man, of things, man, and just tell everybody where you from.
I was born and raised here in Saginaw, Michigan. Grew up in University Township. You know, everybody knows as BB. Went to BB schools. Then, like third grade year, moved to the city and started going to city schools. So I've been around a lot, bro. I went from Rickard, Weber to South Middle, Mackinac Academy, Arthur Hill, back to BB. So yeah, I grew up. That's how everybody know me. I went to a lot of different schools. I'm a goofy dude. They got me singing. Always wearing nice clothes and stuff like that. So I grew up, yeah, around here in the city.
Any college?
Yeah, I went to. Matter of fact, yeah, I went to college for a year. Dropped out. Wasn't for me. Wasn't for me, man. I tried to focus on it, and nah, hey. No.
So what precipitated you to move towards R&B? What precipitated, or was it even R&B that you started with? You know, have you ever rapped? You know,
I was gospel.
Okay.
It was gospel, man. My father was a pastor. My mom was in church. My mom just put me in all types of talent shows. So I grew up singing young, like age of 2. So she, you know, my mom helped groom me. You know, my dad was a beast. Like I was singing at his church and everything. And as I got older, towards middle school and high school, I started wanting to do R&B and stuff like that. So I had a group of friends at Arthur Hill. All of us got together. We was always singing and stuff. After high school, I traveled to Atlanta for a while. Went down there, recorded, came back. Left Saginaw again, went to New York. I was in New York for a few months, singing there. Was in a relationship, came back, got my heart broken. Wondering why did I come back? Then I stayed here again for a couple more years, went back down to Georgia, and that time I went down to Georgia, that's when it was really like popping, like the people I was dealing with, the people I was networking with, the people I was in the studio with. You know, it just kept me going. Once my father died, I came back, and I was in Saginaw again. I just took over. I started writing my own music. I started producing, recording everybody else and stuff like that. And that's how we got.
Because listen, when you know, when I seen you on the corner, man, you know, and I seen you, you know, in the garden.
Yeah, the garden,
when cooking up with Faux Hadrian in the garden.
Yeah. And that's how you discovered me?
Listen.
Oh, that's dope, yeah.
You know, because like I said, you know, I've been home like 3.5, going on 3.5 years. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things is still new to me. You know, a lot of artists I don't know about, and that's what make the relationship so unique. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of these artists I didn't, you know, I'm just branding a friendship with.
Yeah.
You know, and So when I came home, my cousin, you know, he got the Perfect Storm film,
Yeah.
and I'm watching his on the corner, and I'm like, man, because you was like the only R&B guy.
Yeah, the only in the
You
garden.
was,
Yeah.
you was the only R&B guy. You was like the only R&B guy over, you know what I'm saying?
And that's
So
what,
I'm like, man, it was so different. I'm like, man, who is
and that's
this
what
guy
Cosell
right
said.
here?
And that's what
Mac Jovi.
And that's what Cosell said. He was like, bro, he said, I ain't got nothing for R&B, bro. He said, we gonna do the garden. We gonna do, you know, like in the garden. I'm like, bet. I was like, what you need me to do? He set it up. I came down there within an hour. It was downtown in the back. And he set it up, had it looking nice. And he was like, man, just, you know, I just need you to sing, bro. And that's what I did. So, yeah, that's
Listen,
crazy.
man, for anybody that ain't checked it out, make sure y'all check out The Corner.
Yes, sir.
With Mac Jovi, man.
Yep.
Listen, I'm telling you, man, it hit. So as you know, you went through college, you know what I'm saying? You had your ups and downs.
Yep.
So what made you go and say, man, listen, I'm finna put my heart and soul into this music thing?
Man, it was once I got with my boy James Owens, who go by J2. Like, we was in the studio every night, and I just remember hearing myself coming up with these records. We was writing, coming up with these records, and I was like, man, I can actually do this. And, you know, once I felt I could do it, that's all I wanted to do. And I just kept going from there, traveling, singing, weddings, birthday parties, funerals. I was singing all.
And I know God is very important in your life.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like you are very, like, you know, you rep your Christianity to the fullest.
Oh yes, yes sir.
You know what I'm saying? Why is it so important for God to be a part of your life?
Hey man, that's my creator. His son died for my sins, man. So I accepted Christ at a very young age. I had a mother and father who trained me up in that faith, in Christianity, to believe and learn. And as time went on, you know what I'm saying, you know, when you're a kid, you have a relationship with God because your parents tell you to. When you get older, you develop your own relationship and see how he really works for you and what he do for you. You know, so that's my biggest thing, man. I'm just happy that I had parents that trained me up in church, so I can go through life and figure it out myself and see that I'm always gonna need God. He's always number one. He's always gonna be first in my life, be the head of my life in everything, every situation. I pray before I do anything.
Right.
Always. So yeah, that's definitely number one.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know he done had an inspiration on your music, man,
Oh,
because
man.
you make some of the best music, man. You done been in the studio with some of the greatest artists.
Man, come on, man. I appreciate it. You heard it here. He said I make some of the best music. You heard it here.
Come on, man. Listen.
Man.
Just man, listen. He going viral right now, just on one of my platforms, man. Him and Topside. That's like 14,000 views. I caught him and Top in the studio together.
Yeah.
You know, man, and it's doing like 14. It's at like 14,000 views right now, man.
That's what's up.
But what I wanted to ask you, like, before we get into that, what's the process of an R&B artist when they creating those tracks, man? Because it's so much different. Like with rap artists, you know, it's a lot of different things going on in the studio.
Yeah.
You know, you might got the girls, you got, you know, the weed, the liquor. You know, you got like what's the motivational process when you making an R&B track? You know, like
it's love over everything, bro. Like R&B is delicate. You know, R&B is sex. R&B is pain. R&B is experiences, life. You know what I'm saying? Fulfilling. You know what I'm saying? I really experience what I talk about in my music. So for me, R&B comes from that place, experience. Like I can't write. I have writer's block if I haven't experienced. I can't just make up something. This is like really what I sing about. This is really what I go through. This is really what I do. So for me, I just always embrace, you know what I'm saying, love, intimacy, and everything else because like that's what we need. That's what it's about. Relationships. You know what I'm saying? You need one another. So that's what R&B is.
And we got so much drill music that took over.
Yeah.
You know, we got so much, you know, gangster rap that took over to the point where it didn't overshadow R&B.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
100%.
to the point where, you know, females don't even really want to listen to R&B now. You know, they just want to listen to the drill music. They want to listen to the gangster music.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, you talk to me.
Man, I be seeing chicks on live, man, and it's like I be like, damn, man, like damn, she, you know, she gonna be kind of sexy, and then all of a sudden you hear like Flint music in the back, and I ain't knocking it, you know what I'm saying? But you know, like me coming up in high school, man, I come up in the area with Pretty Ricky, you know, like Marion, Mario, Jay Holiday, all these singers. R. Kelly was popping, and you know, so I'm on the phone all night talking, and you can just hear a girl playing that mix CD in the background, just random stuff, you know, like, and it's like we don't got that no more. I don't even know if kids experiencing that now, but it's, you know, R&B making its way back. You got artists like Money Long and, you know what I'm saying, like Tank and all these other artists is coming back, bringing it back, TikTok virals and stuff like that. So it's on the come up. It's coming.
And TikTok is definitely one of the platforms that got to be used to help bring R&B back.
Yes, sir.
You know,
yes, sir.
because I'm seeing a lot of old school R&B songs that's going viral.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
and they doing like the mashups now. Like it's a mashup by what's his name, Brent and Cut Close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that real good R&B. Like that's your era. Cut Close. Like, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like H-Town.
Yeah.
SWV. Like all that. That's your era.
I was just telling him about New Edition.
Yeah.
We got a New Edition album up right here. I was telling about Boys to Men, the son. He thought I was talking about the group.
Yeah.
I was talking about the son.
Anytime anybody mentions
one of the most mature R&B songs that you can listen to, New Edition song, Boys to Men.
Mm-hmm. Anytime you mention New Edition and then you say Boys to Men, because I know Michael Bibbs discovered them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, he's talking about Boys to Men.
Yeah.
So that's where I was going. But yeah, the whole album is fire. That whole album is something different.
Yeah.
That's If It Isn't Love, Can You Stand the Rain?
Oh man.
Yeah, and then that's actually when they all broke off too.
Right.
But, you know, Bobby Brown, Don't Be Cruel, and Belle Biv DeVoe. Dang. Yeah, that was the era, man. I still listen to that album.
So what's your greatest R&B group? Not solo artists.
Group, okay. Man, you got Destiny's Child, you got Boyz II Men. I think, personally, Boyz II Men vocally is the most craziest thing ever, man. But I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to go with the Temptations. Yeah, I love the Temps.
Man, one thing about that old school music, man,
Mm-hmm.
it really stand the test of time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It really have survived eras after era. And I wanted to ask you, what makes a song that lasts forever? A classic song, you know, because we got so many songs now that's just microwavable songs and they lasting for a year and, you know, until the next hot song come out. What does it take in this era? Mm-hmm. Because we know most R&B lasts, man, forever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So what is it gonna take in this era, man? You know, to get back to them classic songs, man, that last decades and decades.
It gotta feel good. You think of Ron Isley Brothers in Between the Sheets, it just feels good. Music that puts you into the day you first heard it. Right. And when you can go back in time to that day, you're in love with it. So we gotta get in love with the music, in love with making songs, and making songs feel good again, and not just quick songs that's gonna last for 10 weeks, right? You know, whatever, right? It gotta feel good, man. Like when you.
So these songs that's trendy, you know, they just songs that's trendy. They just here for now, but gone tomorrow. Yeah. Then you have artists that say, well, as long as I made the money, I'm good.
Some of them feel good.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them, but none of them care about the art. You know what I'm saying? The art is not lasting. The art is not living on. Yeah. It's just like I got my check. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? No matter where if the song lasted 6 months.
Mhm.
You know what do you think that mentality? What do you think that curve? Where did the music industry took a turn and curve right there at?
I think it's social media.
All right.
I think it's social media, period, and what people see and try to do what the next person do, and then all of a sudden it sounds like this song, and then it gets repetitive, and then we're hearing the same thing. But you got somebody like Usher now, like that good song that feels good.
Right.
It's like it's coming back
Right.
slowly. You got the Money Loan song that they make the trend on. It's coming back. It's feeling good again. Right. So it's on its way back. SZA, Snooze.
Mm-hmm.
All men like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's making its way back. So if we can make music feel good like that all the time, we back in.
Mm-hmm.
We back in.
And I think it's a lot of women this is a women's world right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of women is taking over the game.
Right now. Mm-hmm.
R&B and the rap game.
You know, I never seen. See, I come from an era where there was the male rappers and it was Nicki Minaj.
Right.
She got tired of being put in the female category because it wasn't nobody that she could battle. Like, it wasn't nobody that she could, you know what I'm saying, like compete with. And now it's like 10, 15 female artists that out. All of them killing it. A lot of them, really. Even Sexy Red, like all of them competing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With Nicki, to the point, you know, like Meg and all them and Cardi B, like, what? You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen this many female artists.
Right.
And then we got our own. We got Missy and T.
Right. Yeah.
Baby Cocaine. Like, you know, all these artists are
killing them.
These female artists and stuff. Like, I support it.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
Yeah. And I think it's going to take for a lot of guys, you know, with higher statuses, especially as y'all as producers.
Yeah.
You know, keep getting behind these females, man, so they can keep making that heat in the studio.
Yeah, I support everybody, bro.
Because the thing about the rap game, I think it's so repetitive, like you said, and people tired of the message that's being put out. You know what I'm saying? People tired of the reality that's being lived behind it. You know, you got violence that's actually going on behind the music.
People like to hear bad things. People like negative energy. You get on Facebook Live talking about success or Instagram, nobody wants to hear that. But if you get on there, you post a status like, beat this nigga out, and it's everybody jumping on because they want to see negativity. They want to see somebody get hurt. It's entertainment for them. They don't want to see us doing good. They don't want to hear about 401ks, credit scores. They don't want to hear about, I just purchased a house. They don't want to hear about new cars. They want to see negativity. Who fighting? Who got shot? What's going on?
That's the way the mind has been conditioned through the years. Empowerment. Yeah. And that's the thing about having a purpose.
Yeah.
You know, is that one thing about a purpose, it can help leverage you up out of poverty. It can help build you up to be somebody that you never thought you could be. You know, from the time you've been doing this up until now, I want you to give me one of your greatest highlight moments, man, as a producer, as an R&B artist, that you didn't experience since you've been in the game.
It was traveling to Atlanta, bro. I was in the studio session. I had a manager at the time named Jarvis Bourne, and he was so connected in the industry. I got to sit in on one of Kerry Hilson's sessions. Jacquees in the room next door. I'm battling Anthony Lewis in the studio dancing. I'm listening to writers who write for Ty Dolla $ign, Wiz Khalifa, all these people. That was the highlight of my life. 2015, 2016. Being in those rooms made me believe that it's possible to do anything, and we only limit ourselves. So, you know, I would think that's the highlight of my music for myself. Yeah, for myself.
Give us one of give us one of the lowest moments that you've been experienced, man, since you've been in the music
Again, Atlanta, sleeping in my car. I had a Buffalo Chevy, a '92, and I was living with my cousin, and for some reason she had also she like threw me out. She like told me she like you need to go back to Saginaw and stuff like that. I was like I ain't gonna go back. I said I'll take off. I took off. I used to sleep in the back of the Sam's Club in that Chevy, and a lot of people don't know that, but that was probably my lowest moment. Music, like because it felt good at the lowest moment, just being out there in the atmosphere because I knew I was there. Um, so that lowest moment still was a higher moment, you know, at the same time.
Because it helped build your identity. It helped you to build your character to who you are today.
Took away my mom.
Right.
Yep. So that felt good to me, but that was my lowest moment because I was like, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing just in this car frame. Like I'm out here, I don't want to go back home. It's look like a failure. I've been out here working, grinding all these connections. What I'm gonna do with it? So that was my lowest moment. Same here. You don't gotta turn things around, man. Keep God first, man. Tell me.
Yeah, a lot of happy for you, man. I'm telling you, man. Listen, ain't nothing like being able to persevere, man. A lot of people can be persistence, man, but for him to be able to persevere out that situation, man, stand in his car, you know, in the parking lot, and to get to where he's at today, sometimes you have to just believe in your dream. You have to believe in you. You have to believe in your skills and your talents. And you gotta know that that's more than any money or any materialistic thing that you can think of. You know, that's your greatest gift. You know, I want to just ask Max Jovi that, you know, because technology playing a big part in the music industry today. You know, what are some of your favorite tools and software for crafting your signature R&B sound?
Logic Pro X. That's my favorite program to record on. Logic. That's number one. Logic.
Yeah. So
I love Logic.
Yeah.
I love Logic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking anybody who uses Fruity Loops. I didn't move on to Pro Tools. I know I could, but Logic it just feels good to me. So that's one of my technologies that I'm locked in. It's been that way.
Right. For years. And then R&B is known for smooth vocals and intricate instrumental. How do you ensure that each element complements the other in your productions?
Once again, it gotta feel good. It gotta sit right within me. Whatever I hear, you know what I'm saying, like the frequencies, energies, bass lines, like whatever it hit. If it feels good, it's in there. It's in there. So like that's how I bring it all together. That's you know what I'm saying, just about listening and what feels good.
So what advice would you give to an aspiring R&B producers who are looking to make their mark in the industry?
Keep going. Keep going, don't stop, keep practicing. You know, sometimes you might have to record people for free just to practice your craft. I did it a lot. A whole lot. A lot of y'all know. Y'all will say that, you know, Mac Jovi ain't never charged. Yeah, a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it's people that I did charge and I got my craft up to par, you know. But, you know, just practice on it. Practice on it and you only can get better. You can't get no lower than what you're getting.
Right.
So just, you know, stay motivated and keep going.
So when the artists want to work with you, if the artists want to come, you know, you do beats, you sing.
I'm not really a beat maker. I'm more of like the engineer side. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I can mess with some beats, but I'm not really. I would call myself a beat maker.
Right.
I can take some stuff in, put some stuff, you know, like mix some stuff down. Yeah.
Okay. But so what it take to get in the studio with it, Joey? Like, do an artist have to be a certain caliber? Does an artist have to have some type of flavor you looking for? You know, is it
not
is it just R&B?
Hey, look,
can they, you know, because I know you and Top did a lot of stuff together, but
Yeah.
and I know you and Bankroll G got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, see, that's just a feel good thing. Like me and G is unexplainable. Like, you know, we grew up in the same hood. You know what I'm saying? We grew up in BV, so like when we got together, it just automatically clicked. You know what I'm saying? That's how people from BV. As far as getting in the studio with me, just gotta have a little bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Money talk,
Everything
man.
costs, man. And I know a lot of artists, man, you know, they come to you and, you know, they don't have the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you might hear the passion.
Mm-hmm.
You hear the purpose when they let you hear their music.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the time, man, the person that didn't have the money, but you went, you know, you seen the drive in them, you seen the passion, you seen some type of future in this artist.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not necessarily saying you was getting a payday every time they had studio time or every time y'all was recording.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I want you to tell, like, how do you decipher that? You know what I'm saying? Because producers want to work with everybody. Everybody and all artists don't have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So how do you weed out that one that has that passion, that drive, and say, okay, well, they don't have the money. You know what I'm saying? But I see a future within them and their music. Like, how do you go about that?
I ain't putting no names on it.
Okay.
I ain't putting nobody's business out there, but once again, you got to feel good, man. Like their energy got to be all right. Like, you know, like as long as they show me respect and, you know what I'm saying, respect the craft that I do, I respect the craft that they do. And if, you know what I'm saying, like you got a good personality, you got good energy and everything like that, I'm not working.
And in Saginaw, we just experienced a loss of a great artist. You know, that Mac Jovi was working with, you know, Topside Tay Money. I had the opportunity to meet Topside Tay Money when we was in penitentiary. We was at Ojibwe together. And Top, you know, I had been in penitentiary since I did 11 to 13, then I did 13 to like 19. And so when Saginaw was broke down in zones and zone 4, zone this, zone that, you know, that's during my time that I was locked up. Okay. But when Tay was in there, Tay broke the whole Saginaw down to me. You know, he broke the whole Saginaw down to me zone for zone, man. You know, he an artist that's gonna be truly missed. And I know that you and him, you know, the first time that I met you, you guys was in the studio together.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that day, man. Y'all was working on a song. You know, y'all had a lot of, you know, because you was bringing the best out of
it. Yeah. Definitely.
You know. So let's talk a little bit about, share some of your fondest memories, man, about Topside Tay Money, man, that you recall being in the studio with.
In order for me to, you know, bring up Topside Tay Money, I gotta bring up, you know, C's. Right. You know what I'm saying, Topside C's, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know Tay Money in the studio like I did. I actually grew up, my cousin, my first cousin actually, his name was Jordan, he grew up with Tay Money's brother, TC, that, you know, he was freshman clothing line and everything. You know, so I knew who Tay Money was, but we never crossed paths until C's brought us together. So, you know, I was recording C's, working with C's, and he told me, I got a boy, man. He's like, which I really want to get him in the studio, you know what I'm saying? You know, talking tall dude, dreads, like, really want to get him in the studio, you know what I'm saying, John? I'm like, bet. And we brought him over there. You know, Tay come in, grill in his mouth, shining, blinding everybody. I'm like, hey, I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, yeah, I know you rap. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm doing a little something. So we got in the studio. That one time, it was almost every other day. Every other day. Top stood on business. And sorry, I gotta put it out. He stood on business. Whatever he said is what he did. You know, never lied. You know what I'm saying? So he always like stood on business. I can remember one time, he was on the phone. He hit me up. He was like, he called me. He was like, Joe, what's going on, Joe? Talk. I'm like, I know who it is. I know your voice. He was like, yeah, fuck. Anyway, he was like, shit, shut down the studio today. I'm coming to the studio. I'm like, shut it down. Like 3 people. What do you mean shut down? He's like, man, shut down the studio. I'm coming through, man. I'm like, all right. So I told the other people that I was going to record that I get with them. And, you know, Tay Money came over. And he was like, got some shit off my chest, Joe. And I was like, all right. So we sitting there. He threw $1,500 out on the table. Told me he don't want me to record nobody else for the rest of the month. What the hell was I supposed to do? I'm like, damn, 1,500. I'm like, bet.
Right.
My mom was in the house. He see my mom. He tell me like, he's like, what's up, mom? You home? He like, man, get some famous days. Let's get some potatoes. Let's get some patties first. Something. He Uber Eats and shit. Telling me not to spend my money. Like he's spending his money to feed me as I'm recording him. You know what I'm saying? He stood on business, bro. Like, I rock with Tay Money tough because he believed that I was a business. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he would come over, he would call me. Sometimes he'd hit me up at 10 a.m. Sometimes he'd hit me up at 2 in the morning. And be like, I need to get in the studio. I'm putting on my clothes and shit. And this nigga downstairs, like in the driveway. Who you got over there, Joe? I'm like, I ain't got nobody over here, bro. He was like, man, he told me, he was like, you know, I fuck with a lot of people, bro. I said, yeah, bro. I said, yeah, I know. So whenever he came to the studio, I made sure, because I'm a neutral spot, I made sure it wasn't on the north side of it. I made sure it was on the east side.
Made it safe for him.
Bullfield,
That's when he come in and make his music.
Nothing.
Man.
This nigga be recording music. Like I said, everything he said in raps was true. He recorded his music. Them things that we call in that phone, he recorded out. I'm like, man, what's going on? I'm like, hold on, Joe, I gotta go outside, take care of you. And I walk outside with him, I grab my gun, he got his gun, just to, you know, be safe. And people lined up in front of my house.
What'd he say? Lunch line?
Lunch line. He said, lunch line in the studio. You can ask Joey. I said, he ain't lying. I left it in the back because niggas really serving me like clockwork. You know what I'm saying? So it's still all that we said. Hard. It's hard, bro. Like,
and he never got an opportunity to perform.
No, he didn't want to. See, a lot of people don't know he didn't want to. See, used to get upset with him because he was like, man, he's like, bro, you got this fire, you got this fire ass song, bro. He's like, you fuck. He's like, man, fuck. I don't want to. He was like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he wanted to make music for people to hear his story and hear what he was going through. He didn't care about performing. He cared about getting whatever he had on his chest out there. He didn't want to perform. He knew that people hated him. But he had people that loved him, but he knew that to other niggas he was a villain. They feared him. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't want to do shows. He didn't give a fuck about no show. He wanted to make music and get it out there so people can hear what he can do and what he can see in that I'm really living what I'm doing.
Right.
I said one time, you know, because I ain't no street nigga. You know, everybody know I'm R&B. So I said one time, I was like, hey, bro, you just carry like $20 something. He was like, yeah. I was like, hey, man, how much you got saved up, man? I asked him. He's like, you got like, how much you got saved? He said, how much you think I got saved up? I was like, I don't know, about 40K or something like that. That nigga looked at me and said, that's an insult, Joe. I was like, okay. He told me like 40,000 insult. I'm looking at it like, damn, nigga.
Right.
I ain't got 40,000 like saved up. Like, shit, I'm just trying to figure it out. But That nigga told me that was an insult. So
And
you know how much
right.
he had or what he was doing. If he tell me 40K is an insult
Right.
to be sitting in his stash spot or whatever he had. So
and you know, he's Tay Topside Tay Money is likened to Dex Osama in Detroit.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people recognize him for being just like Dex. No cap in the rap. That's what makes him the hardest. That's what made him so real. Because he didn't have no cap in his rap, man. So I wanted to ask you, man, like, because sometimes a lot of these artists don't know the impact that they have on people. Man, y'all as producers, other artists, and once they leave the studio, they back to their personal life. And it's like what I just did in the studio, or this art that I just came up with, or this purpose that I was driven by 15, 20 minutes ago in the studio. Now I'm back to my personal life. None of that matters. How do we get artists to be reminded, like, man, you got people that's depending on you, man. You got people that's, you know, that's riding with you. You got people that's, you know, that's investing their time and their art into what you do. So you can't go out the studio and live your personal life and do something, you know what I'm saying, crazy, or do something stupid, or do something ignorant to, you know, get killed, or some type of way for the streets to swallow them up. You know what I'm saying? As artists, they have to know how to value themselves, value their time, value their art, and value their work ethic more than they do. You know what I'm saying? So what do you say to artists, man, when they live in their personal life, man, to not so much stop disdaining the art? Remember who you are as an artist. Remember who you are as an entertainer. You know, you just can't throw everything away. You know, you just can't. You know, and it was a song. I listened to a song that he made. You know, saying that he can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And
they want me to crash out.
They want me to crash out, and everybody wants you to crash. You know, and you know we don't know the, you know, we don't know the details of what happened. You know, we just know that, you know, we lost a hell of an artist.
And see, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, for me, I knew Tay Money was a gangster. I knew he was a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? But that person that came in the studio
was a totally different
person. He laughed. He was joking. Like, he liked to talk. Like, we be talking, and, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the rest of the top side be in there, we be talking, laughing, and just, like, joking. Like, bro, this shit is cool. Like, bro, this is it, bro. We finna get out of here. Like, he always said that. He like, man, we gonna get out of here on this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I looked at, you know what I'm saying, Tay Money for being a good-hearted person, because under all that ski mask, black, all that shit, he had a heart. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I told you, he fed my mom. That's a good person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He took care of his kids. That's a good person. He took care of his boys. That's a good person. So, you know, like, I know he had stuff going on, but, you know what I'm saying, deep down inside, he had a heart.
Right.
And he was a caring person, bro. So I'm be honest with you, bro. Like, I wouldn't gonna say that. I'm keep it real with you. We on yacht life, so I gotta keep 100 my way. I'm shut down my studio. I don't want to record nobody. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to record nobody no more. And the simple fact of the matter is, why I say that is this: Tay Money came into my life for a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? As time went on, we got close. You know what I'm saying? We built a relationship. He not here no more. You know what I'm saying? That bothers me to the point like, you know, everything that we recorded, I still have. I got unreleased music. It's to the point like I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to get close to the next person they get locked up. I don't want to get close to the next person they get killed or anything like that, bro. I just don't. I don't care. I don't care enough to record nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like this right here was a hard one, but it was a wake up call. You know what I'm saying? To deal with just like it's time for me to focus on me. You know what I'm saying? Like I take money. You know what I'm saying? He was a cool dude, and I knew the lifestyle he lived, but you know what I'm saying? On the other side, I don't live that lifestyle. So
And to get, you know, and I know it's hard to cope with something like that as a producer, because I know how close y'all was.
Yeah, it was cool.
You know, and that's why it was imperative to get this interview. You know what I'm saying, with his passing, man, and rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
You know, because like you can only feel that chemistry with certain artists. You know what I'm saying? You only have that chemistry with certain people.
Yeah.
You know, and I can understand what you're saying about not want to work with nobody, want to just invest the rest of the time, you know, into you.
I got everybody come to my studio signed the wall. You know, so you've been there, you signed the wall.
Yeah, I signed the wall.
Take money, signed the wall. One time he told me, I was like, bro, I said, sign the wall for me. He looked at me and said, Joe, I don't read or write. I said, you don't read or write. He said, told me he dropped out when he was in South Middle School. So I'm like, bro, I said, you can sign the wall, bro. Like, you gonna put your name up there. And he did. But I got legendary people that come to my studio, bro. Like, I look at some people in the city that some people can really make it. Some people just come through just to do it, but some people can really make it. And when I look at that wall, bro, that wall is legendary as hell in my house.
And for him that can't read and write, and to be the artist, to do the artist that he was.
Once again, I gotta bring it up. C's was a big part of that. He helped develop Top. He helped get it out of Top. Because Top would have some nice he's sitting there. C's like, hey man, you gotta come on like this, Top. You gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta say this, you gotta say it like, you know, like you really feeling it. You know what I'm saying? And C's was his right hand. Like he was in there. Like a lot of times I came to the studio, C's was right there. You know what I'm saying? And Santino way, like, you know, the rest of the top, like Lil Lee. You know what I'm saying? All them dudes he had coming up to him looking for him, man. That nigga really made Topside cool. He made that shit cool. And like, I ain't gonna be for nobody, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get in the middle of nobody's shit, but I know what I seen from him.
Right.
And I knew what he was about. He was about it.
Right.
He was about getting that bread.
Right.
He was about making that music. He was about that street shit for real.
Right. So, looking back, are there any particular songs or projects with Topside that hold special significance to your heart?
Streets. I can't listen to it without getting a little choked up. When I first heard that Top was dead, I went to my studio and I played Streets because everything that he said, my life full of dark moments, but still I shine bright. And the sun was out. You know what I'm saying? And I just sat in the studio, I was like, damn, bro, like this shit really fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we actually got that video. We shot that video. Rich got the video, but you know, I don't know if it's ever gonna be released or anything like that, but we shot that video on the Topside. That's a memory that, you know, so I'll never forget. That's a song that always always be with me. And Nobody's song, Nobody's too. Like we got two so we got two versions of Nobody. We got three versions. We got Nobody's version, me Top and C's, me Top, Santino way. Then he came over and he wanted to put it on the new album, like that he said he was gonna work on. And we did it again, and he redid the verse completely different. And it's me, him, and he wanted to get like a big artist out of Detroit on it. But he said that he couldn't find nobody that he was gonna fuck with. He was gonna throw Tay Roll on it. Crazy. Crazy. Sitting in my pew. Crazy.
What you think, man? Because a lot of the artists, man, it takes time. It's a process here in Saginaw, Michigan, man, for them to blow.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them don't have the resources down south and where the music scene is popular. And they say the Mecca right now is Memphis, like it occurred from Atlanta to Memphis.
They gotta follow the boom formula. You gotta follow what HBK Boom for. He's networking. He's connected. He's doing features with artists. The man been doing it since he was 15. Boom is probably the perfect artist to watch grow your name out of this city and more because he's in Milwaukee, he's in Chicago. Like he's doing his thing. Like Boom don't get enough credit from us.
The sound in Milwaukee is our sound.
Exactly.
Boom.
We don't get enough credit. I mean, we don't give Boom enough credit from Saginaw.
Right.
Boom is the way most artists out the city gonna get up. I said it. I said it. Boom. Yeah. I'm telling you. Yeah. It's a nigga working. And he's a teacher. He just made a kid famous.
Right.
A kid going by like,
what's
up? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Follow the Boom formula. He giving you the formula. The SpongeBob secret formula.
Right.
It's right there.
So, man, before we get out of here, man, we want to ask Mike Jovi, man, you know, because like I say, we experienced a hell of a tragedy, man, and he experienced a hell of a tragedy, man.
R.I.P. Top, man.
R.I.P. Top, you know. When your book is written, you know, when it's all said and done, what do you want them to say about you? What do you want to be remembered by?
I want to be remembered as a good person that loves to help people. I want to be remembered as a talented artist, an entrepreneur, a person that was driven. I don't want no smut on my name. I feel like the name is everything. I don't want no smut on it. I want to be great, bro. I really want to be great. And I feel like right now I'm breaking all curses. Like, all doubt. And I'm in my best faith right now. The Bible says, seeking God first, He the desires of your heart. So right now, that's what I do. Go through God with everything. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't even thinking about the chapter closing. I'm just thinking about succeeding the book to get to the chapter. You know what I'm saying?
So listen, man. Tell them out there, man. You know, because we gotta get back to romancing our woman, romancing our significant other. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta get back to that R&B, man. We gotta get back to the new school R&B, old school R&B, just R&B period. We gotta slow it down. You know, things taking off too fast. You know, so what is it gonna take, man, for us to get back to that R&B era, man, where everybody can start liking R&B again?
We gotta fall in love again, bro. We gotta have successful relationships. We gotta get rid of the toxic, wanting to be together next minute and then going live dissing the person. Like, we gotta get back to loving so we can make stories again. You know what I'm saying? So we can bring it back full circle. Social media ruined a lot of shit. It's a big help to some stuff, but it ruined a lot of shit. It's a big help to what we doing right now. Right. But it ruins a lot of
because it can take a lot of things out of context, and sometimes just because of what this person say can go viral, even though it's wrong.
Right.
You know, man. So, Mike Jovi, what you got coming out next, man? Tell us a little bit, man, about what you've been working on.
I got one more project. It's called Thoughts and Feelings. I've been working on it for like 2 years. But that's gonna be my last project, and I'll probably do singles from here on out. Maybe, maybe not, but I really want to focus on like business endeavors and entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And if people want to get in touch with you, man, what's your social media platform? That's where they can reach out to you.
Instagram, Mac Jovi, well, Mac underscore Jovi. Facebook, Mac Jovi, or Jovi McMillan. I respond, you know. So.
And man, there you have it, man. And I just want to tell you guys, man, death is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, death is plaguing us throughout our family, throughout our friends, throughout the people we working with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening every day. We have to accept the fact that death is gonna happen.
Yep.
But in order to be scared to die means that you're scared to live.
Mm-hmm.
So know that one day you're gonna die. So it puts a sense of urgency on your life to get things done,
Mm-hmm.
to make to get things done in an efficient and an efficacious manner. You know. So we want knowing that you're gonna die one day, that give you all the reason to live. That give you all the reason to open up to opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
That give you all the reason to open up to free your mind, to be able to network and be able to utilize and be able to connect with the ideas that's going on in your head that you've been neglecting.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you, it gives you the opportunity to open up to people that you never opened up before.
Yep.
You know, because sometimes you can already be dead in your mind, but walking around in the physical form.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to physically die to already be dead. You can already be dead mentally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so my advice to y'all is be able to free yourself up to have some type of chemistry with life where you can work on your purpose, where you can actuate your purpose, and where you can just live within your purpose.
Yeah. Keep God first.
And there you have it, man.
Yep.
And we want to thank you guys for tuning in, man, to this edition, man. We want to thank Mac Joe, you know what I'm saying, for coming in here and giving us this great interview.
Yeah.
Our light did went out, so I guess that's telling us it's time to shut it down.
Time to shut it down.
And we also want to thank Tanisha Brooks again, you know, down here at the Selfie Shop, man, where we make the magic happen.
Sure.
You know, man, so live in your purpose. You know, no, death is everywhere. Death is everywhere. So just, don't be scared of death because then you're scared to live. You know what I'm saying? Know that one day your time is going to come.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a sense of urgency on yourself to get things done. Whatever that goal that you want to accomplish, whatever that dream is that you want to accomplish, whatever it is that you have on your itinerary that you want to do to make your life better.
Go for it.
Go for it. So, thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of Yacht Life Chronicles, where we are better together than separate.